Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
and this is Volume Up by the Tease.
Dreaming of elevating your bridal styling kit this wedding season? Say no more. The Hello Salon Pro Bridal Beauty Box is brimming with must-have tools from premier styling brand Denman, all designed to help you curate perfect bridal looks. Inside, you'll find the quintessential Denman D4 Bluebell 9-row original styler used for iconic volume and definition. And the D38 paddle brush gives you a fresh base with its stellar detangling skills and even product distribution. Need gorgeous shine? The D81M Style and Shine brush is here to save the day. With mechanics ideal for all hair types, it's sure to create glossy finishes perfect for wedding day enchantment. In combination with the D28 Wide Tooth Detangler, your hair texture will be preserved and breakage reduced. With a handy brush cleaning tool, your kit will stay clean and ready for clients. The Hello Salon Pro Bridal Beauty Box is exactly what you need for styling success during bridal season. Get yours now at hellosalonpro.com or subscribe to get next month's box.
So, Jeff, I heard through the grapevine that you are buying a new car this weekend. Is that happening?
I mean, is it this weekend? Is it the next weekend? Who
You know,
knows? I'm trying to be nonchalant and non-committal so that they don't have you in a
like
power.
in
Right,
their grips,
right.
because
So
when
we're
you
playing.
walk on that
Mm-hmm.
car floor
Mm-hmm.
showroom, you're
Mm-hmm.
done. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
You just There is actually no worse experience than buying a
Car
car.
buying. No,
Yeah,
it is my least favorite thing.
same.
And and yeah, like
Eh,
I'm also not a very like knowledgeable like
right.
I know
So
what
you're
I
like, I
want.
want that. And then you're like, do you
Uh-huh.
need this?
And you're like,
Okay.
well, do I want that? I don't know. Maybe.
And then they get you, okay, so that's horrible.
Hmm.
Then when you have to pay for it and sign the papers, that's worse.
I agree. I
Because then you're
agree.
like, do you want the warranty? And then I was like, I don't know, I
Hmm.
guess. And then you're
Hmm.
like, fuck, why did I get that warranty? That was stupid. Or
Well,
whatever,
I
extended things. Just
truly. So I mean, currently we're going through like the minimum features. So like we need a
okay.
certain size vehicle because we
Okay.
have three
A
children
hundred children.
in
Yes.
order to get them all in and out of a car instead of doing multiple, all of this stuff. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
at a minimum, we know what we're interested in. There are only a few hybrids. We don't want a plug-in situation.
No, don't do it. I'm telling you,
Not,
I did
nope.
that and it was awful.
So I'm nodding emphatically, not interested in going that route. So anyway,
Mm-mm.
we want a hybrid. There's just a few. Anyway, so it's like there are certain things that we like have to have as a minimum, but then they want you to do like the huge ass sunroof thing, and I'm
Right.
like, I
You're
don't I
right.
don't know that I
And then
really
this
do
package,
need
and that here's the thing.
that.
I have a sunroof and it's always closed. Not even
Literally.
just closed, like the panel is over it. So
Huh?
like
Well,
there's
right. So
no
it's like,
light getting
so
in.
right when you're on the shore,
So
and you're like, ooh, yeah, like future me
that'd
might
be
really
fun.
enjoy. Oh, but like real me is
No,
never gonna do it. So then it's like, well, I
never.
don't need it. So it's those things, and then you're right, like the
Oh my
sitting
God.
and waiting, and the back and the forth, and the this and the
Yeah.
that. My last time, um, when we had also just had a child, we
The
like
cars
did
get upgraded when the children come,
more or
just when you
less,
add
more or less.
more
Well, it's like we
children.
didn't need it anyway. So the last go round, we got like swindled into
Yeah, you
doing the
did.
like service as part of
That's
the
what I did. That I
yeah,
get
yeah,
it
yeah.
every
Okay,
time. I
but so
every
then guess
time.
what? Guess what? It's only relevant to that dealership. Which like duh, Jeff, duh, you fucking
Oh,
idiot.
wow. I didn't
Except
think of
then we
that.
moved to Northern California
Yes.
and it doesn't matter. So we're
Yeah.
paying for
Great. That's a
which we
good one.
cannot
Hmm.
ever make use of, so like
That
you
that
live, you learn. And I've
you live
learned.
and learn.
So now we're just trying to be like, no, I mean, we're not buying today, but we're interested in hearing more about this, which is,
Oh,
and then they hate you because they're not going to get their sale.
right. And then
But
they
yeah.
want to give you their number because so
Yeah.
when you come back,
Mm-hmm.
here's
Mm-hmm.
here's my best experience. So
Please.
I now have another driver in the house because my
Mm-hmm.
oldest turned 16, which is
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was
Sure.
like, I don't even know where
I'll
you need
take
to
your word
be,
for you.
but
I don't want
like
to think about that part. Yep.
it's fantastic. Well, you have Life 360 and you track them. Like I know
That's true.
exactly where
That's
he's
true.
at.
Okay. Yeah.
Which you should get that app. It's crazy good. I mean, you can see if he's walking or the speed of the car, if there's this urgent brake, if there like it literally just tracks him. they've been here for this many minutes.
You're
They're
blowing my
walking at
mind.
4 miles an hour. Yeah, it's great. So
It's good.
anyway,
Does he know that he's being tracked?
yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I was gonna say because he's listening to this podcast and he's like, "What? What?"
So the experience is when we bought this car, we're like, let's just get a used car, whatever. So
hmm
we're like, let's just try CarMax. Who dat?
hmm
And we
hmm
bought it on CarMax, and it literally, you just go on the computer and you're like, I'll take that one, that one. And then you tell the local CarMax, or you just say, please ship it here. And they
hmm
ship it there on their dime. You literally go, you do all the paperwork online. You go in and get the keys and leave.
Maybe
Why hasn't the dealership community
maybe that's what I'll
evolved
do. That's
evolved at all
Well, so
in a hundred
my
years?
that's a great
Like,
question. My
I,
mother-in-law was telling me about, and this is getting really boring. I'm sorry, everybody. Costco has like a car program situation where you
oh,
can
do
like get
that.
quotes or what. So we tried, except that the kind of car that we want is not, I guess, whatever. There's not enough inventory for people to make the competitive bids and whatever. So what is okay? I'm gonna open it up to
Yeah,
the audience.
yeah,
Gang,
open it up.
if you've got tips about car buying, if you want to
He needs
impart some
them.
wisdom, I'd be down. I did see something about the like make sure you get the firm and final offer before you talk about any of the financing slash the monthly payments. Because apparently
Oh,
they'll like try to be like, well, if you want it to be X dollar, then what? And that's like an opportunity for them to upsell on the back end or like a longer whatever. So like I'm aware of
okay.
that much, but after that, do you have to be a dick to the salespeople
And
and just
we don't do that. Nice girls don't do that.
yeah,
Nice
I
girls
know.
win, but they are not dicks to people. No.
But no,
And you
but
kind of
then
want to be, but like you're not.
well, you want to be a nice person,
No.
but like are they these
Yes.
people? And that's the
Then
tough
I
part.
can't. I walk away. I'm out. Your
Yeah.
energy's off. See you later.
I'm gone.
And you know what?
Who
On the
needs a
way,
car?
and
Not
you know what?
me.
On the way, I'm gonna throw one of my little stones at them, just for they
Mm.
can put in their pocket in a nice way, in a nice girl
Goodbye.
stone throwing sort
Mm,
of way.
A little
I also
memento.
have something that
Forget me
brought
not.
up. So I have obviously my iPhone is like I message on my computer. I sound like I'm 800 years old.
Can you?
This just in.
hmm
Um, and I just had one come across and it really just ticked me off because in the book Nice Girls Win,
hmm
which is coming out early fall, late summer,
hmm
um, I have this thing about having boundaries. And in there it mentions this text thread, which
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
hope actually this might be bad. It's called Cozy Christmas 2.0 because at some point somebody had a Christmas party and
Mm,
put everybody on the thread. Okay.
mm.
So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 25 people on this thread.
Oh no. In
So
a
I have,
group,
yes,
20
yes,
plus people in a group
yes,
thread?
sir. And so I have left this thread, and then people are like, why'd you leave the thread? I'm like, you can tell that you leave the thread. Did you know that?
I do. But I mean, usually it's not
So
such a.
then I
If
don't know
there's.
how I'm back on the thread, but Cozy Christmas is back.
Oh.
And it's just going. Did you guys sign up for this league, that league? It's like all the way. Anyway,
Too many people. Too
anyway,
many
we got to
people.
have boundaries. We have to have boundaries within text threads,
Text
or you
threads.
leave. But now it came back, so I don't know what's happening. But
You might just
anyway,
have to leave again and
I'm
block
gonna leave
everybody.
again. I'm just gonna. That's kind of my
No,
friend,
that.
but yeah. I'm
I was gonna say it's a little extreme. Don't do that. But that's a lot of people. That's a violent act to
And
be.
then it's like,
We'll have to
oh, my
bleep out the name of.
father-in-law's not doing well. And then it's like, I'm sorry, sorry. And then it's like, hey, what about this game? And then it's like, anyway, I digress. But don't do that to your friends.
No,
Don't do
no.
it.
Do a small group chat. That's
Yeah,
that's the normal thing to
an
do. Yeah.
intimate group chat.
Yeah. I feel like more than well, I feel like maybe like eight. Eight is probably as high
That's
as you
pushing
should
it.
go. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Like I've got one that's active that's like six people, myself
Okay.
included, so five others. And like that doesn't get unwieldy. But I feel
Okay.
like I've not had success with any larger. Like it really just needs to be like a one-time group message, and then it's
And
like
we
we
out.
go our
Yeah.
separate ways.
Yeah, like
Ooh.
information received. Bye.
Send me an email. Send me an email.
This could have been an email. This could
That's
have been an email.
but see that's I
Anyway.
mean to your comment, I mean technology, it's all sort of it's so on the same in the same vein. One of my eldest daughter has a friend that is returning to a country and so they're going to do like pen pal stuff,
Oh, I love.
which is right.
That's so adorable.
And so they're going to do email, they've decided.
Okay.
My daughter was like, "What's email?" No
Oh my
idea. No at all.
God.
None. And then her friend was like, "Oh, it's like a text." And I was like, "But it's not." And
This
then
is great.
she was like, "Well, but I don't have a phone, so how could I do that?" And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no.
No, 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 no,
It's
no,
like
no,
an
no.
electronic letter,
Piece
and
of
you're gonna
information.
type on a keyboard and shoot."
That
Anyway,
is
so like
awesome. Mind blown.
the young gent, they don't. So what is email? Apparently, totally
And
irrelevant.
you know what? That's really interesting because are we just going to be texting people? Like, is the future of business just texting?
I think that's what we're hurtling towards,
Yes,
probably
I do
whether
too.
we want or not. And I know like you
Yeah.
in one
I
of
have someone I work with that
Mhm.
like sends edits via text, and it's been a really hard adjustment, you know? Anyway,
No, no, no. So
that's
sorry, we're getting
wild.
some inference from the production team who would want a business. I don't want a text message that is like a tough business no.
You know
That's
what? My publicist, though, who's fantastic, it's all through audio text.
wow.
All, yeah.
Wow. I
Not
mean to
all
each
of
their own, I
it,
guess.
but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but I like the immediacy of that.
Yeah, no, I mean
I
that's
mean,
true, but also you
I
could be
don't
immediate with
like
text. It's tough. This is
unread
tough.
messages. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
tough. That
Wow.
wigs me out.
Well, what's not tough? This next
Yeah,
segment. Let's
let's do
give
it.
everybody a brain
Okay.
break, shall we?
We shall.
Don't think about email or text messages or buying a car. I don't want to. Lord knows. Let's get into Obsessed or Over It, where we react to product, services, trends, and decide if they're a hit or a miss. We're going to be breaking down what's worth the hype, what isn't, giving you our hottest takes along
Okay.
the way. Follow along, check the show notes, go to our Instagrams. As you know, these links we've not opened before right now. So, first up, edible beauty.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Our collagen is decreasing. So collagen makes up 75% of our skin structure. So however we get it, we need it.
However, no,
So
I mean,
I'm
this is
taking it. I'm taking it. I'm drinking it. I'm chewing it. I'm eating
your
it.
collagen
Like
maxing, baby.
collagen maxing. I'm rubbing it on, like all of it.
Yeah. Okay. I
What
mean,
about
why
you?
not?
I'm
I,
obsessed. I
I'm
mean,
I'm not obsessed. I mean, this is like a crazy sort of infographic situation. Health
well,
is wealth, right? Like it's you got to eat well, you got to exercise, you got to take the supplements, you got to do
mhm.
yeah. So I mean, I'm
I
pro
mean, the
this. Who
weirdest
isn't
thing,
pro collagen? What is the
right?
weirdest
Well,
thing?
you want your skin to not look
Right, saggy,
good?
droopy.
Barf.
No.
No. I actually think about my skin when I eat an avocado.
Go on.
Well, because it's so good for you.
So this is
Literally last night, I
so
was scooping it.
and you're like, look at me eating this, and it's gonna be great for my skin. Wow. I love that. I love that
There.
mindfulness, that connection, that like mind body.
Oh,
Good for
yes.
you. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
I'm
Thank
being
you.
serious. I'm laughing because I'm in like the belly of the beast. California, like we got
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
avocados
got
everywhere.
everything. You
So
got
I'm
it.
like,
There, it's a rarity here, okay?
that's what I mean, again, I'm taking it for granted and I shouldn't.
Yes, you are.
They're like a wonder power fruit. Like it's great. They are great.
Yes.
They're
I
and
don't
you
think they
feel
taste
good.
great, but
Oh,
like
you don't
not
like an
real. I think
avocado?
they taste plain,
Okay.
like paper would. I don't have it. What is the taste of an avocado?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I don't
It's more like
really
a
taste
texture.
anything.
It's the
It's a
wisdom.
texture. The texture.
I mean, because I mean, it depends. Because some of them can be like quite buttery, where there's like a little bit of
Oh,
that
I've never had that.
umami.
Oh,
No?
no, I
Oh,
don't.
see, again, this is, I think, a California.
These Wisconsin avocados hit
These
different.
avocados that are coming to you are maybe not bred for
No,
flavor. I
no.
see. I gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay.
Interestingly, relatedly, really quick, we have a avocado tree that is growing from an avocado tree that we had when we were living in Southern California.
Oh,
We
that's
like took
fantastic.
the avocado and had the pit and like so I have
I
one and
love
then
it.
my mother-in-law also has one that is like
Ah,
very, very, very tall. So one day we will maybe have our own avocados from
Just
Anyway,
dropping down. Okay.
in the spirit
Okay.
of California. Yes. Next up, what do we got?
Next up, Rhode has some summer essentials, and we know how you feel about this, so we're gonna already know you're not obsessed with this, but I bet a lot of people will be. I
I
won't
mean,
be
a lot.
purchasing it, but I love the color scheme. It's kind of like nudes and browns and creams, and I think it's beautifully designed. So the
Hmm.
design I'm obsessed with. The thought, no, not so much.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm over it. Anything you put in front of me from this brand is a pass.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that I saw a story recently on The Strategist where they were comparing Gen Z's love for Rhode and Gen X's love for Jones Road Beauty, and they both have these like
Oh,
bronzing drop things,
interesting.
and they were stacking them up against each other. So it was
Huh.
like a Gen Z rep and a Gen X rep doing both.
Yeah.
And I think that they were landing on that they liked the Jones Road better.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, interesting
Huh.
that I mean, there's something to this. People are
There
obviously
is.
very into the road of it
Yes.
all. I'm not people. So there's that.
I'm not, I'm not people. I'm
Not
not
me.
people.
Nope, I'm over it.
No
I
people.
would love for there to be someone else that we could talk about in the
Okay,
beauty
let's
space. So let
not
that be a lesson to
obsess.
beauty brain brands that are out there. Like, let's get on our innovation game.
Let's do
Hmm?
it.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Knicks, which is like
Oh yeah.
unseeable, right? And
Hmm.
here's a little spoiler. My husband and my oldest son were at a game, like
Okay.
the one that went on like Monday, and then they won later in the week,
Hmm.
and the one that the president was there for, and the security was like it took hours and hours to get in and out.
Oh.
And my husband said it was really quite, there were some dangerous moments, or he saw some people, fighting and things like that. But I don't want to focus on the negative. I'm happy for the Knicks, and
Yeah.
New York has now got its own little life.
Jubilant. They
Just
are thrilled. My New Yorker friends will not stop talking
seriously, it's just a
about the
game.
Knicks. No, oh no, it's not.
I
What is it?
know.
53 years since they've won.
Yeah. Okay.
Insert the
Whatever.
I'm
I
not
mean,
sporty, although I am wearing a sports jersey.
you
Shout out
are. That's
to
soccer.
Mexico, which is going to be playing today in the World Cup.
Oh,
Hopefully they win. And
look
if
at
they
you.
don't, we're going to pretend that I never said anything about that.
Okay.
In the same way that if the Knicks had lost, obviously that would be a bummer. But they didn't. They won, and people are so happy. The like chants, the memes,
Here's the thing. We
Jordan
need
Woods
happiness.
bag. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I'm
I
actually
mean,
obsessed with
yeah,
this.
I am too. I
I'm
like it.
pro. I'm pro this for them. They deserve a win. We could all. I mean, it feels like our win, doesn't it? Even though, unless
It
you're a
kind of
Spurs
feels
fan.
like the United States wins. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
even though it's a US against US. I mean, it would probably suck to be a Spur fan.
yeah, that would
Spurs fan.
spur
Because
the
everybody's been rooting for the
Spurs.
Knicks. Like they've all wanted it to be
Yeah,
them that they
just
and then
out
they
of,
did win.
yeah,
So
we're
well, I'm
obsessed.
obsessed with that. So, there's like a
Keep on
mixed
it,
bag
New
here.
York.
Keep
Um,
going.
Keep going.
Win
All
next
right.
year.
Win again. Winners win. Win again. Today on Volume Up by the Tease, we're joined by Katie Brenner, a 20-year globally recognized stylist, blending together technical mastery and modern artistry in the hair care space. Katie specializes in doing lived-in, high-end hair color and custom cut services that not only grow out effortlessly, but are designed to each client's unique features, lifestyle, and hair goals. Along with her work as a stylist, she is a globally recognized educator that partners with global brands and salons alike to teach, inspire, and develop the next generation of stylists. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeupthetease.com.
Before we get to my interview with Katie, let's talk Tease beauty news. First, we've got a heartwarming story. This is a follow-up. I think we covered the initial. So the article is Booksy awards nail tech Nika J $5,000 to upgrade her salon. Booksy, the go-to booking management and discovery app for barbers and beauty pros across the globe, picked a winner of the Salon Glow Up Orlando competition. Nail technician Nika J was awarded $5,000 to help upgrade her Orlando-based salon and take her business to the next level. The Salon Glow Up Orlando competition was designed to support the talented Orlando community of Booksy providers, including barbers, nail techs, and hairstylists, to help upgrade their salons and grow their businesses. Salon upgrades could include everything from new stations or furniture improvements, lighting or layout upgrades, branding or visual refreshes, functional improvements that elevate the client experience, and more. Head to thetease.com to learn more about Nika, how she's planning to use her winnings, and those who were the runners up, because they are also worthy of a mention. What would you do if you
Oh,
suddenly had 5K
oh,
to upgrade your life in some way?
oh. Well, I'd probably buy some timeless. Shoes.
That's great. I love that.
I would do that.
Hmm.
That's what I would do. Yeah,
I mean,
just to
that's
have
a.
them forever, and maybe I don't know. I just don't ever think
Would you
about that. So
wear them or just keep
yes,
them?
no,
Okay.
I
So,
wear
okay.
them. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, you get some use out of them too, and then also
Yes,
appreciate them.
sir.
Okay. All
I
right. I
love
love
that they
that.
did this though.
No, it's
Congrats.
such a. I mean, I'm excited to see if this gets rolled out across the country.
Yes,
Obviously, Orlando has a big hub of pros, but I'm sure people in other corners would also enjoy.
agree. Next up, the Bellamy and Sonata Sika Bridal Kit, the luxury hair essential every bride needs. It's bride season, I think.
Hmm.
Bellamy and celebrated luxury bridal hairstylist Sonata K. Sika have joined forces to launch the Bellamy and Sonata Sika Bridal Kit, a comprehensive, elegantly curated collection of hair essentials designed to be the foundation of every bridal look. Priced at only $300 and available now at bellamyhair.com, the kit is built for the elevated bride who wants everything she needs in a beautifully packaged system. Head to thetease.com to learn more about what's in the kit and how to get it. Jeff, give us one little hinty hint. What's in the kit?
Okay, so I mean, there's quite a lot in here. It does not include the extensions, to be clear. That is something that, if you are a bride, you're going to need to talk
Yeah.
to your stylist about getting separately. If you are a bridal stylist, you want to get this kit maybe to pamper a client. Also know that. But some of the sort of, I won't give it all the way because there's a
Don't
lot
give it
in
away.
here. But I'm going
I
to
think we need
say
it.
maybe the velvet heatless flexi rods, I think, are a nice
Oh, of
little
course.
plus
Yes.
for this kit.
Plus,
I mean, it's
plus.
really like honest to God, save for the extensions themselves, this is exactly what a pro is going to need or what a bride is
Yeah.
going to need. Or if you're a bridesmaid, if you've got another event where you're wanting to be pampered, like this is definitely a kit that makes sense. So I loved this. I mean, and there's really like nobody quite like Sonata in this
Right.
space. So
To
it's really
curate
like
the kit. Yes.
like this is a big deal for Bellamy. We love to see it, and love seeing pros getting the recognition that they deserve, especially when they're so
Yes.
niche. So shout out to everybody at the team for making this one happen. Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news, and don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com. Next, we've got this week's top stories that you need to know about. Kelly, this is big for you and I. We've talked about Legally
Yes.
Blonde several times on
Mm-hmm.
the pod.
Love.
And now I think people maybe are aware there's going to be a prequel series that's coming to Prime, um, documenting, or not really, I mean, it's fiction, going through Elle's life prior to,
Uh-huh.
us
Well,
knowing her
yeah.
in the iconic films. And there is a big partnership. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who is involved in
Yes.
making this come together?
Right. L'Oreal Paris has been named the official makeup sponsor of Elle, which is the prequel that you mentioned, which I'm sure that was a long time in the making. And
Hmm.
what great product placement.
Hmm.
The exclusive. I mean, that's incredible. So congrats to the L'Oreal team that pulled that off,
I
right?
mean, this is why. Well, especially because I mean, the character is so known
Yeah.
for being put together and,
Yes.
thoughtfully so. And so, yeah. And the other sort of fun dimension to this is that this is set in the 90s, which hugely popular. And so it's like thinking about what those
The
things
retro
look like
packaging was,
exactly.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's
Uh-huh.
cool.
So it's all just, I mean, like it's a big win, I think, for beauty to sort of reference itself
Yeah.
and push forward new trends as a result of. So I'm excited to see what happens with this. And there's supposed to be a 360 campaign, in addition, obviously, to
Yes.
their involvement in the production itself. So this will be interesting as it sort of ramps up. And I think
Hmm.
that the show is set to debut early summer, question mark? Yeah, early
Yeah.
July. So I mean, we're just around the corner from seeing this. Do you think the show's going to be a hit?
I think they'll get a lot of traffic to start. And if they didn't cast Elle properly, I mean,
Yeah.
Reese Witherspoon is hard to follow, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
so
be
if
so nervous to step
yeah,
into
if she's
these
cheesy
shoes.
and like kitschy, it's just got, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
hard one to do.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that fellow podcaster, and actress, obviously, June Diane Raphael, is starring in the show as well as Elle's
Mm,
mom, a famous
adorable.
blonde.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what she does too. And congrats on that. I mean, it's a big role. So
big
we're
role.
excited to see what this is going to look like.
All right, the next one is something that I haven't been doing for months, and that is fake tanning. Jeff,
Okay. What?
I used to be the
Yeah.
bronzer self. I've turned over a new leaf and am embracing my very pale skin.
I wouldn't say pale.
Well, without
What
makeup.
caused
I
you?
mean, I don't
What
know. It just
you
was
just
like
woke up
too
one day
much
and
maintenance. It was just too, and
Mhm,
it like this part was tan and that wasn't, and like,
mhm,
I don't know. But
mhm.
you know what? Vogue is reporting that there's a glow up. Fake tanning's big glow up is here. And you know what my first thought was? I'm gonna schedule a spray tan.
Good for
I'm gonna
you.
do it. I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna
do
get
it.
back into it.
I think so.
You just needed the permission
I
structure
just
to
need the
get.
permission slip. Yeah, to be like, it's fine. Go back. Go big.
Wow. I mean, look, there's no shade, no shame. I love a tan. And
I
if
do
it's fake,
too.
even better because it's healthier,
Yes,
right?
I
I
don't
mean,
like a
that's the way
real
that we
tan.
should.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
no, that. Although, have you heard that Gen Z and younger are embracing the sun?
Oh, yes. And I am witnessed it to like my nieces and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're checked the UV index.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna out my youngest son, but he likes to tan. And he was like, it was like laying on the black trampoline. I was like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
get out. Put on your sunblock. It's
Why
interesting
did I
because
waste all this time putting sunblock on you
literally,
from now
literally,
until 13?
yep,
Like,
yep. You gotta
like
keep going.
smather, it's
You
in your eyes,
gotta keep,
everybody's
yep,
crying.
yep.
Like, anyway,
Gotta keep the
let's
investment
get that glow
going,
up.
gang.
Let's get it. Let's go up.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for the product innovation. I'm glad that things have improved. We've talked a lot about our use of sunless tanner over the years.
We have
And so I'm excited that
connoisseurs.
you're gonna get back in the sauce.
Thank you.
And maybe maybe you'll be the inspo that I need to also get a spray tan. I did think when I
Fantastic.
was at Premiere Orlando that
You
I
should
could
have,
have, I
maybe.
could
Yeah.
have, you know,
Coulda, shoulda.
I
Yeah.
could have. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't look unhealthy, to be clear. Like I wouldn't describe myself as pale, but
But
I
you
probably
could
could
have
have.
had a
I
glow
could have.
up. Yeah.
And
Could
couldn't
have had a
we
glow up.
all?
We all could. All right. Next up, our interview with Katie.
Katie Brenner is a 20-year globally recognized stylist blending together technical mastery and modern artistry in the haircare space. Based in Denver, Colorado, Katie specializes in doing lived-in, high-end hair color and custom cut services that not only grow out effortlessly, but are designed to each client's unique features, lifestyle, and hair goals. She's on a mission to deliver luxury-level services to the everyday woman, priding herself on maximizing her clients' time and giving them a color service that's long-lasting and won't have them in the salon every 4 to 6 weeks. Katie's also received certifications in balayage, color, and cuts from brands like Redken, Pravana, and Aveda. Along with her work as a stylist, she is a globally recognized educator that partners with global brands and salons alike to teach, inspire, and develop the next generation of stylists. Having graduated with high honors from the Aveda Institute of Denver, she's also worked under the likes of Charlie Price and apprenticed under a Vidal Sassoon master stylist. Additionally, her work has been seen on the editorial side during her 4 years working on Denver Fashion Week and when she co produced and styled at the North American Hairstylist Awards, NAHA. Katie, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm caffeinated. That's what matters, honestly. I hear that you're feeling under the weather, so hopefully we can make this go smoothly for you.
Yes,
Yeah, but it's a good way to work through a cold. Look, Katie,
absolutely.
let's do this. We do this with all of our guests. We ask, how did you get to beauty? How did you know that hairstyling was going to be the thing for you? Did you always know? Was it something you discovered sort of later? What was it like?
My story, it's a very long one. It's very interesting. I kind of stumbled upon it in a way. So at 16, I had my first daughter. I graduated high school early. I grew up riding horses, and then graduating early, I went pro training horses. Training horses was 6 days a week, 10-hour days.
Hmm.
I didn't have time to be a mom. And then also, one of my best friends, she got in a bad accident, broke her back, and it was a
Oof.
realization of crap. If that were to happen to me, how do I take care of my daughter?
Mm.
And so I loved animals, and I was like, I'm going to go do vet tech school. And I had talked with my dad, and he's like, why don't you do regular college first? See if that's for you because you're so like training horses. So
Hmm.
I went to that. And as I'm in college, my dad goes, Katie, I think you should go to beauty school. I was like, no, I'm the biggest tomboy. He's like, no, 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 you should go to beauty school. And I was like, oh my gosh. But when I look back, at horse shows, I braided all the horses' manes
Hmm.
and tails. I did all the clients' makeup before they went in. I'm super artistic. When I was in school, I was in all the art competitions. So I went to Aveda Institute Denver, did a tour, and I saw that it was more than just like highlights and beauty. I saw the editorial stuff, and that was like, oh, this can be artistic. And so that's kind of what drew me into it. But it originally then was going to be my backup plan. I'm like, okay, I'll get my license. I'm going to do this, but then I'm going to use doing hair to pay for vet tech school. But then I just completely fell in love with it. And I'm an overachiever. Anything I do, I have to do it to the best. So that's kind of like the evolution of it for me.
That's wild. And t 20 years later, no backup plan. This is
Yep.
the plan, for
This
sure.
plan. Yep.
Uh, how did you know that working behind the chair was going to be bigger than that? I mean, it's a like sort of silly question, but obviously, like your career is so expansive. You've done so much, and
Yeah.
we're going to get into that in this pod.
Yep.
But was there a point, sort of like early on, where you were like, "Well, sky's the limit here"? Like,
Mhm.
what was that like for you?
I think the thing, like when I trained horses, I wanted to train under the best horse trainer, and that's what I did. He's known worldwide. So after doing hair and graduating from beauty school, I was like, I want to assist under the best of the best.
Hmm.
And I went and I assisted for Charlie Price. Yes. So I was with Charlie for 4 years, and he opened my eyes to a world. It's endless opportunities and seeing everything he did. I did Fashion Week with him. I did Naha Week with him. I did sets. Like I did so much. I was like, there's so many places I can go with this.
Hmm.
And I'm so thankful for my start with him because him being on my resume has helped me get into a lot of places. So that's kind of where it all started.
Perfect. We're gonna get to that. So I think it's like a good teaser for sort of
Yeah.
establishing the scene, as it were. Look, so I mentioned, I mean, you've been in this industry for a minute,
Yep.
some decades, and you've built a reputation in Denver
Mhm.
and across the country, for
Yep.
lived-in luxury color. I'm
Yes.
curious though, what does luxury color hair mean to you now, and has that evolved from where you started?
Yeah, absolutely. So since my background originally started editorial,
Hmm.
fashion, that's more styling and updos. But when I was at going to Aveda, that's when ombres were first coming in. That's when balayage was first coming in.
Uh-huh.
And so I always had that in my back pocket. So when I went and I had my second daughter, I was like, I'm just going to stay home. We're going to focus on that. So that's when everyone was balayage, it was sessions, it was that. And so when you think of luxury lived in hair, it's a highly educated artist that can peak at any level, handle any hair type, texture, not break it, understand the products, the knowledge that goes behind it. And I have clients that can come and see me once a year and their hair still looks fresh. So that's that luxury. That's that going above and beyond and not just like giving them the basic service. And it might look okay when they leave, but longevity, it's not going to be there for them.
Mm. Well put. I'm curious. I mean, when you talk about high maintenance color,
Yeah.
what are you seeing in terms of like where we've shifted? So, I mean, you
Mhm.
mentioned again like ombre and balayage at the beginning. Obviously, people now are obsessed with lived in, and obviously the economic sort of reality is playing a part in this.
Mhm.
What are you seeing in terms of shifts for trend with clients, and what are you hearing about from other pros?
I think there's a big trend. I think there's a trend shifting and demographic of what a client can afford.
Hmm.
And so I have some clients, they save up to come see me, either once or twice a year.
Hmm.
They're going to always probably stay in that lived in until it changes for them. But then I have my girls that are shifting into that modern highlight straight from the scalp, 90s, but modernized with all the techniques we learned from lived in. So I have that multiple kind of going on, and I've been seeing a lot more of that highlight I learned back in school, but done in a very more technical way.
Interesting. I find
Yeah.
it fascinating, particularly because I mean, where people are doing this in parts of the country versus others, and it's so fascinating to see sort of what's popping up, and you increasingly hear when we talk to pros like you, it's a
Uh-huh.
little bit of everything at all
Yeah.
times. Which is that a as the pro doing these services, is that a
Uh-huh.
good thing? Do you like needing to flex all of these muscles, or would you prefer to sort of rest on your laurels? What's the real deal there?
I think it's very interesting when you look at the generation coming out of beauty school right now, they're taught
Mhm.
to specialize and they get hyper focused on, say, like balayage, and they can
Yep.
only do balayage. But I've been doing hair so long, it's like I can do it all. And I'm
Mhm.
thankful for that because I can specialize in that color and give anything and everything. They show a picture and I can achieve it. So I think to be called a master hair colorist, you need to know how to do even pulling it through the cap. I can do that. The traditional, the blocking, the ombre, you need to be able to do it all. You can be a specialist, but to be a master colorist, you need to master all of
I love the way that you're laying this out. In case it
it. Thank
were
you.
not clear to anybody, I mean, like Katie's making it pretty damn clear. So I mean, we talked about this. I mean, your color work grows out
Yeah.
effortlessly, and you talked about this. So you've got clients that are coming back maybe like a year later, and it's still looking fresh.
Yep.
What led you to prioritize sort of longevity over the cycle of just coming through every couple of weeks? Was this again economic? Was this like your preference? Like what did this come down to? Because this is a unique trait, and as you said, like it
Uh-huh.
allows you to be a master because you can do all of it. But I'm curious about that.
So it's gonna be a long answer. So,
Do it.
okay, here we go. So with hair color, when you think of hair color history, we first started doing hair highlights, pulling them through the cap. Then
Hmm.
we started to do the foils. Then we started to do block color. Then we learned how to do ombre. And each of these techniques have come with the shift in financial as well. Like the ombre got really big, and that's when the economy tanked. That's
Hmm.
when everything was at the lowest, and women needed that low maintenance color. They couldn't
Yeah.
keep up with those traditional highlights. And so then that's when we saw a shift. I always say Giselle brought it to the runways in America of balayage. And they're like, okay, people are starting to do better. They can start investing in their hair,
Hmm.
balayage coming around. But then it was like, okay, balayage, you have to have session work to be able to get past that blanche on those brunettes. So then that's when the techniques got transitioned into teasy lights, color melting, shadow root. And so I think that's the evolution. And I've been there through each step. I wasn't right there when we were doing the cap and the pulling, but I can do it. But being through that process of our economy and the trends and the fashion, I think I'm fortunate I've been able to be there with all of them. So no matter who sits in my chair, they can get that technique. And I love it because I would get so bored. And that's why I love to play with color. And sometimes I'll even push some of my clients that are like, always doing balayage hand painted. I'm like, can we do some like teasies or traditional and like let's play?
How does that go with the client? I mean, you've established trust, I'm assuming.
Yes.
You're not going to just like drop it on a brand new client that's like, actually, no,
Yep.
we don't want to do what you're saying you want to do. But how does that go? Do they actually opt for the like a TZ Lite plus up versus the normal balayage?
Yeah, I think it's that relationship and it's having that confidence. When I was a younger stylist, those women, especially those powerful business women, they intimidate the hell out of you. And
That's
you're like,
real.
I'm going to
That's
do
real.
whatever you
Yep.
say, and
Yep.
we're not going to do it. But I think with all my years now, it's that confidence. And I'll look at them sometimes like they want to bang. I'll go, you're not getting a bang today, girl. That is going to look bad on you. Trust me, trust my experience.
Hmm.
And so they know that with me. And I'll even point out stuff that is awkward on them. Even my clients, when they get their first gray hair and it's stuck in the back and they have no idea, I'm going to tell them. And they know I'm going to tell them the honest truth. I'm there to make them so beautiful. So when I recommend something, my clients do take it to heart. And like you said, it's usually not with the first appointment. I'd say by appointment three, they're feeling me and they know that trust. And
Hmm.
thankful to social media, they can see my work and I can back up and they're always going to walk away beautiful. So it's kind of that counterbalance.
That again, the sort of multi-layer approach, key. But
Yep.
but as you said, like it's coming down to trust in a lot of ways.
Yep.
So I'm curious. I mean, you mentioned this. You know, you've got years behind the chair. You know how to establish rapport, build that. For stylists that are coming out of school, who are
Mhm.
maybe being encouraged to specialize, one of the things that they're not being encouraged to specialize in is client relations. So,
Yes.
what's your sort of POV on how can new stylists build rapport behind the chair? How can they sort of build up that clientele and have them coming back?
That is a great question. So, I look at from the beginning of my career how I did it to how I teach in class to them. It's night and day different. It's totally
Hmm.
different versus when I first started, it was footwork. It was awkwardly passing out my card at the mall to all the waitresses,
Yep.
talking to people, doing lots of free work. they have social media. Social media is so powerful. You no longer have to be in New York, LA, Denver, big cities to get that clientele to you. So I believe building out a beautiful digital portfolio on your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook, and hashtagging. Like I teach them, I'm in Denver, Denver hairstylist, Denver hair colorist, Denver
Hmm.
salon color, and I push that there. And so when a client comes to your website, your free website, your social media, your bio is going to have what you specialize in. I also say give a little quirk about you, share in your stories a little bit about your life. Like I'm your typical Colorado girl. I snowboard, I have girls. So I share that. And so it's already making that connection before they even come to sit in your chair. They know the type of vibe you're going to be versus back in the day, it was a guessing game. And I think clients went through hairstylists a lot faster, and I think also a big one that plays into it now is politics. You know, if you're a hairdresser putting politics on your page, you might prevent certain people coming to you. Maybe that's fine, that's what you want. But everything you're putting out onto that page is what you're going to get. Just like I don't do men's cuts, I'm not going to put them on my page. I don't want them. So it's building that rapport. And then it's also making sure that, like on Google and Yelp, like I used to offer my clients a free haircut because it cost me nothing if they left a review or got me a referral.
Hmm.
And that built me up a lot on that site. So when anybody Googles, I come up much higher. So it's optimizing your SEO, your search engine optimization across the entire internet because we have our older audience that uses Google and our younger audience that's going to use social media. And you need to make sure you're hitting both demographics to make sure you fill your chair with everybody.
I'm so glad that you brought this up. I think people, uh, guests of this pod, even have really focused on the power of social media,
Yeah.
and not necessarily thought about some of these other things. It's interesting that you say the notion about like handing out a card. I was at an
Mhm.
event recently, and Eric Vaughn was talking about how he had done this to start, and this is back. So he was encouraging people to get cards. Do you think that we're there? Do you have a physical card still? Do you hand out
I
cards or
actually do. They're
yeah?
somewhere in my studio. I remake them all the time.
Hmm.
I recently just moved to a salon, but I've been in a studio prior to that for 10 years. Left a stack up there at the front of the salon. Also, I don't know if I never got in trouble for it, but I love to go to like bookstores
Uh-huh.
and I'd put my card, go to the beauty aisle or the Vogue magazines, and I just
Hmm.
slip in my card in there. My tanning salon, I always left one when I would go in there. I think that's just the old school me, just leaving it everywhere.
Hmm.
Because also when I'm out and about and I'm talking with people, I'm like, oh, come follow me on my social, but they don't have time. I'll be like, here you go, and I can hand it
Yep.
to them. So it's optimizing it both ways.
Love it. Love it. It's all back. Everything that's new is old,
Yes,
is new is all of those things.
recycled.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. Talk to me about the appointment experience. So when you're working with a client, you're big on, I know this about you, maximizing the time,
Yes.
because time is money. We all
Yep.
understand that. So talk to me about, as succinctly as you can, what does that look like for you?
Behind the chair, I just like to optimize my time with whatever it is. And that comes into a lot of education. And since I'm the one that builds out the education, I'm doing a lot of mannequin work. I'm doing a lot of mannequin work to see what placement is going to get me there faster. I'm now not exclusive to a color line anymore. So now I'm
Hmm.
playing with a bunch of colors and seeing, okay, what's not progressive that can process in half the time? What are these little steps that we can cut off? Because let's be real, our clients love to come see us, but I can't tell you now with my gray service clients, when they're in and out in an hour, they're like, love that. I didn't get to tell you the whole tea, but I love that. So it's utilizing and it's optimizing. And then knowing that you can add more clients into your day, or heck, you can take off for the day and not kill your body.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
That part. Translating trends into something that works in real life. I mean, again, at the top of the call, we talked about, your background was editorial,
Yeah.
and doing some really impressive things. Those sort of avant-garde, editorial, exciting to the hair artist things occupy
Yes.
a certain space. They don't
Yep.
necessarily always trickle down to the client behind the chair. So,
Yep.
what's been your experience of how much it does or doesn't impact what people are asking for?
It's very interesting you say this. I just had a conversation with the brands I'm with, JRL and Oli G,
Hmm.
yesterday. We were talking about this because we were at the hair show, Chicago, and we did
Hmm.
a bunch of editorial looks. But it's hard because, like you said, it's a small percentage. So it's making sure that we hone it in. And yes, we can make it editorial, but we also want to make it friendly where if a client used the same technique I'm using behind the chair, it still works for them.
Mm.
Like to do those massive, big, sexy blowouts on stage, showing them, but how to show them how we build up to that and showing what we start with, where this is what you would see behind the chair. Now let's va-va-voom it up. How do we
Hmm.
build up with using that same technique? And I think that's the best way to translate it. I think it's also a great way to teach if you get bored, like a flat iron. You can do waves with it. You can do S curls with it. You can do so much. So if you're getting bored styling with your curling iron at the end of the day, do that because it helps prevent burnout as well. Playing with those styling tools, playing with your clients and showing them different styles. And so I think that's how you can make editorial read into more of a behind the chair. And like with editorial, we have to make that hair hold. You have a client, my curls don't hold. I got you,
Yeah,
girl. I can make this curl hold all day on set. So it's kind of that back and forth. And I think it's just the education of the two and making sure you can translate them.
totally. I'm curious, what are the trends that you're excited about right now? What are you seeing that excites you, that you are curious about, and that
Uh-huh.
maybe you would want to translate to working with clients behind the chair?
I think the big one, so I'm getting ready with like the mood board and everything. And it's going to be literally blowouts are so big right now.
Hmm.
Highlights to the root are so big. Like the 90s are back in such a big way. But it's like you said, it all comes around, but it always gets tweaked a little bit to be modernized. So I'm going to be doing faux blowouts with the curling iron, with the round brush, and showing the stylist, if you are doing bridal hair or something, you can use the curling iron like this. Or if you're going to do a haircut dry, use the blow dryer with your round brush like this. And I'm going to show them how the look looks with them sitting there. And then I'm going to show them how we can amplify it up, giving that like 90s Vogue cigarette in the mouth type of look at the end, but like start with a look that like you can see your client leave with.
I love this. And very practical for the pro.
Yes,
So we love that you're thinking about them, and not just the look ultimately, which is also important. We love those.
yes.
Um, Talk to me about your background with the Aveda Institute. You also apprenticed under Vidal Sassoon Master Stylist.
Uh-huh.
What about that foundation do you think sort of set you on your path to where you're at today?
It set me on a path that I preach about, and I actually just got goosebumps right now. I think it's like say you're a traditional person graduating high school and you want to go to college. What's going to look best on your resume when you're trying to get in with a company? Even though you're both educated well, say someone goes and they have Harvard on one and one has a community college. There's nothing wrong with community college. I went there.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is they're going to go so more to the Harvard person versus you. So when it came to hair, I was like, I need to build out a resume that's a pedigree that if I'm up against someone else, they're going to take me over them. So that's why I went to Aveda. Aveda is very well known for their education, their color formulation. Like I know color better than most people when they get out of school because everything is pure tones that they work with.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of beauty schools, they just kind of train you to pass the state board.
This is true. We've
Yes.
heard
And
it.
yep. And so at Aveda, they actually, when I was there, they offered us to go do New York Fashion Week. They offered us to go to, I think it was India or somewhere else where we could travel and learn about how the products are developed and made.
Mhm.
They teach you how to build out and get approved for a business with a salon. They teach you so much. They even taught me how to work on textured hair, which I see a lot of lacking in that education. Like we had a whole course on it. So it's like I get so comfortable when somebody sets in with my chair with any texture. I'm good with it. And then once I was done with school, the biggest thing that scared me was cutting hair.
Mm.
You can't put it back on. Color you can fix it most of the time. So
No, you're
it,
not wrong.
yeah. So in life, I've always learned I don't like to be scared of stuff. I like to be confident. So whatever scares me, I'm going to throw myself straight into it, master it, and then let's move on. And so that's when I graduated and I went to underneath a Vidal Sassoon master stylist who worked for the Vidal. Like cutting for her was the most intimidating thing. Like she would take the mannequin off, she would shake it, she'd look at all of it, she would cross check it. And after I had those good fundamentals, that's when I went and I missed Aveda. I missed the hair color, the education, and I worked for an Aveda salon and worked there with them. And then that's also when I found Mr. Charlie Price. So that's kind of how the Aveda and all of that tied into each other.
Wild. Do you recommend? Do you still think that the sort of name recognition carries, or do you think there's more to like those sorts of institutions than others? What's your like take now, looking back? Like, was it worth it? It sounds like it might have been. Yeah. What do you
I
think?
think I want to say if you had asked me if I could change anything, I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
change anything at all.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
at all. I think I've had so many doors open, especially in the earlier part of my career, especially when Charlie was very popular, when he was done with like his show and all of that. I remember I auditioned for Redken and I was in Vegas and I was on stage for them and I said his name, I said Aveda, and I had their attention.
Mhm.
Names do mean importance. It means quality. It's like, the difference between going and buying a Louis Vuitton and your regular purse from H&M. That Louis Vuitton was built with, time and compassion in every detail versus that H&M just may have been thrown through.
Mhm.
So mine is making sure that that education is so fundamental and you're working for the best of the best. So that way, if you do want to develop into a platform career or a director career, you can. Now, if you're just wanting to be a really good, successful hairstylist behind the chair, go to any basic beauty school. Go do it.
Yeah.
But then go apprentice underneath somebody that can teach you everything, teach you the ins and outs. So I think there's both sides to it. I wanted to be someone bigger than I can even imagine. But I do educate to those that just want to be busy and happy behind the chair. And so those are the two ways I would go.
Totally. So to that end, I mean, you have now established yourself as a globally recognized educator.
Yeah.
Um, what pushed you into doing that? Because it's one thing to do editorial hairstyling, it's
Hmm.
another thing to be working in a salon, it's another to be in a studio concept. Like, but educating, putting yourself out there, doing platform work,
Yeah.
going, around the world to
Yep.
educate on behalf of color lines or whatever. Like, it's a different beast. So
Yes.
Katie. Why did you, what was the push? How? What?
Yeah, I'm one of those. Like I said, I'm an overachiever. So
Sure.
first I thought my goal was I wanted to own a salon. So
Mm,
I built out everything. I got approved by Wells Fargo to build it out. And then I got offered three other salons to purchase, and something in my gut said, don't do it. Don't do it.
mm,
And I listened to it and I was like, okay. And at that time, I was still working for Charlie. And I'll never forget, it was Eden Sassoon. I was working with her and a bunch of others, Ted Gibson, and watching how inspiring they were to the audience and just how much they were shifting and changing those stylists. That's what I wanted. And I think it's because I come from humble beginnings. Like I was 16 and pregnant. I grew up in a highly abusive household. My mom was an alcoholic. My stepdad was an abuser. And if I can give anybody the power and the ability to change their life, that's what I wanted to do. And to be able to do that, you have to be on a global stage. And like I just got back from teaching with Oligi out in Belgium. And it was just like one of those moments looking out on stage. And I was like, we're doing it. And having people come up to me and tell me, like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, if I can help them, I've done my job.
mm. What does it look like for you in terms of instilling the importance of education, helping the next gen? Because so
Mhm.
much of what you're doing is trying to, again, light that fire within them.
Yep.
But why? Like, what is it about that that
Mhm.
excites you? Altruism, like I'm curious, like again, what is that for you? Because it's just not everybody does this. So I'm curious,
No,
like,
no, yeah. I think the thing is, I struggled so much in school itself. Like, I
mm,
really, really struggled. Like, it was a force to get me to school. So when I went to Aveda, and these educators taught me fundamentals, they held my hand, they took their time, and they taught me. It was this aha moment and this confidence that built within me.
mm,
And I think stylists that don't have a strong educational background lack the confidence. They can't build the clients. It shows in their work and they're going to burn out and they're going to leave the industry. I mean, let's be honest. I think it's a 3-year term that most stylists stay in our industry.
yep,
And even from a graduating class, there's only one other girl in my class that still does hair. And that's
damn,
because they weren't educated. They weren't taught that confidence. They weren't taught this is the way you do it. It's like if you're going to go be a medical doctor, you go and you do your residency, you do all of this stuff because you need that confidence. You need to stand there and stand tall, but we don't have that at access to everyone here in the industry. And so that's my passion. I bring it as much as I can digitally because if they can't afford a flight, a hotel, here's some free education for you. Let me help you out in some sort of way. And so that's where the education comes into, so it's so important. And how I speak my education, I want to hit those. I'm dyslexic. If I can help somebody who's
Mhm.
dyslexic, give them a visual, give them this, give them that, make them understand it and make them excited and not scared when they have that client that's sitting on their books. They're like, I got this and I can't wait to get an after photo.
Totally. Katie, talk to me about sustainability. Because
Mhm.
again, this is like laddering up to this, which is,
Yeah.
again, you've been in the industry for a minute. You've done a whole bunch of things. Obviously, you've
Yeah.
got many years ahead of you, and I'm excited to see what you're going to continue to do. And we'll get into a little
Yes.
bit of that in a second. But like, what does sustainability look like to you? How do you avoid burnout?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, let's start there.
I want to say I've been in so long. I think every 3 to 5 years I hit burnout. It's like
Okay.
clockwork. It hits and I know it. And that's when I need to change. And that's either changing where I'm working, who I'm around, because you're the
Hmm.
company you keep. And if you don't have good company, you're not going to be that. Education can inspire and lead you and get you revamped up, going to hair shows, that can help as well. I feel like I've been Madonna. I've had to like reinvent myself
Uh-huh.
every so often and who I am. And I think that's why I was like, I was a editorial stylist, extension stylist, balayage stylist, this. And I think it's because I don't want to burn out. I need to keep relearning something, reevaluating. And I think that's why my career has been in so many different spots as well. Because burnout, gosh, I think burnout too is when you're unhappy. And when you're unhappy, you have to dig deep. What is making you unhappy? Like last year, I almost walked away from the industry because I was so burnt out. I was so unhappy. And I had to make a move from a brand that I had my whole heart into, but I needed to do that. And making that move, I cried almost at the last show I was at with the brands I'm with and everything that I didn't walk away because I've invested so much. And I needed to follow that gut feeling that I had followed since the get-go that we got to change, even though this is giving me so much financially, so much exposure. It's the title, it's everything I worked for. And I'm going to walk away from it because I am so just not happy.
Mm.
And so I think that's the importance too of sustainability. I mean, no matter what level you're at, say you're a very successful salon owner and you're not happy and you're miserable. Well, you need to reevaluate your business. Might need to walk away from it. There's really hard decisions that you have to make when you've hit a peak of success or you're not hitting success. And it's finding that direction and following that gut and listening to
It's I'm glad that you're talking about this because a lot of people just don't acknowledge
yeah.
it. And they go through it and they're sort of like dealing with stuff, and you can tell that they are, but they're not
Yeah.
speaking to it. But that's really real. I mean, honestly, like
Yeah.
it is pretty secular in terms of like cycles and burnout and this, that, and the other. And you're right, like it's a constant need to sort of like stimulate ourselves, find
Yeah.
inspiration, and really solid advice. Like if it's not feeling right, get out.
Change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
change it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, without getting into the brand, you have yourself built a number of really strong brand partnerships over the years.
Hmm.
What makes collaboration meaningful for you? I mean, you talked about like it's got to feel right. So, how
Yeah.
ultimately does it feel right for you? Like, what do you know needs to be in place for a brand partnership to work?
That's such a good question. Right now, for example, I'm with Oli G and JRL. I'm the global artistic director for Oli G and I'm the artistic director for JRL. It's the same owner, they're sister companies.
Hmm.
What's different about them, because I've worked with big corporate and now this isn't corporate, I feel like my voice is heard when I'm saying something isn't working because I'm active behind the chair. I'm a director that knows what tools are working, what trends are going on. And if I'm not being heard by that brand, then what is my voice? I'm just a face for you, which some might like, but I don't. I want to help us. And so having a brand that listens, having a brand that they're like, we're not going to burn you out. Do not write us back. We're not going to message you at this time. When they say they're going to do something, they're going to follow through on it because I was promised the world by some brands, the world. And then I would be like, well, what happened? What did I do? And I think it's a very common thing.
Hmm.
When somebody's so hungry, you're gonna work, work, but you want a brand that's gonna give as much to you as you give to them. And it's like talking about that gut feeling of that burnout when you're in first conversations with a brand. If you're not getting those responses, if you're not getting that information that you want, keep moving on. And that's what happened when I left the brand that I had been with for so long last year. I interviewed with so many brands I was like, oh, this is goals to be with. But landing on OEG and JRL, like this team listens to me. They take care of me. Like I feel like a queen to them. Like there's nothing better that I could ask for. And I also just recently moved into salon and I sat there and I was like, I've never been this happy in my career
Mm.
ever, ever. And it took a lot of trial and error. And it's not saying I'm going to be with them forever. If I could be with these guys forever, I hope so. But it's also realizing like my journey and not everything's forever.
No, I also a good reminder, I think, for people, like it's not gonna be permanent.
Yeah.
And you can change sort of what you're up
Yep.
to. As you said, I mean, if you're unhappy, you can work at ways to make yourself happy. I'm thrilled though that you are enjoying this experience.
Yes.
I'm curious. Again, you've been through it. What do you think brands are looking for when they are? I mean, so much of this is like, look, stylists want to reach out to brands and get on their radar, whatever. But sometimes, I mean, most often, it's the brand that's got to be interested.
Yes.
From your point of view, what are the things that excites brands about stylists? Like, what is it that is going to make the difference, do you think, from for them?
Yeah. So I think the big thing right now is you're seeing a mix of the old school, new school stylist, and they need
Hmm.
somebody that can do both. They need somebody that can crank out great visuals, social media, have that engagement, have that audience that's hitting their niche market. But can that individual get up on a stage or in a classroom and speak and eloquently speak and actually educate and teach? And that's very hard to find because I've helped build teams. And looking and building teams, it's like you get one spot, but then you don't get the other. And trying to
Hmm.
find somebody that can do both, that's what brands need right now because social media is not going anywhere. It is king, it is God. But in-person education isn't going anywhere. So you need to make sure that you can do both. But there is also brands that they're just looking for influencers. They don't need somebody to go out and do that. So create beautiful images and videos and create that and make sure you're creating that and then you can get deals with brands that's income on top of what you're doing behind the chair and potentially be a way you can retire your body and just create content for brands if you're not wanting to get into education. So I think there's two sides and a lot of brands they'll have their social media like entire department and
Hmm.
then they'll have their education department and they're very separate from each other. And it's occasionally they combine and when they combine is when you're going up the pyramid chain essentially when you're being able to work that. So that's what they're kind of looking for right now that I've seen.
Totally. An important insight. I think people, again, it's sort of like mystifying. They don't really understand how it all works. And I mean, this is great insight. I'm
Yep.
curious in terms of the content generation aspect.
Yep.
Again, to avoid burnout, what are tips that you have for content creation? What tools are you using?
Mhm.
Is it fully organic for you? You're just like, I'm gonna wing it, or is there like a content plan? Like, I'm curious. Like, what does that process look like for you? And I'm sure our listeners would be interested.
Yes. So, how I get my content. So, my favorite clients that I know have good hair that don't
Hmm.
care my camera being in their face. It's taken
Hmm.
years to learn who's okay with what and not. Um, and I have my goose tripod, and it's funny because the salon I'm at, they're like, Katie, you record everything. I'm like, yeah, I do, because you only need a few seconds or a minute of that clip. And if you're filming for 3 hours of a service of a shampoo and this, think how much content you can get from just that one client. So typically, I try to grab one client a day that I can set up the tripod, and especially the others I can just crank through, and I'm not trying to multitask with that. So that's how filming kind of works for me. I also do have like model days where I have like friends, family, or even clients come in for free and I take content of their hair. And I can also learn how to get the best footage, the best photos of their hair, because I'll put them in different spots in the salon, the building. Where does their hair look the best with the lighting?
Hmm.
And then that helps me be faster when I'm on a busy day, tight schedule behind the chair of how to film and get more coordinated. And then when it comes to not burning out, my favorite app is called Reshare. It's free. It'll ask for you to buy it. You don't need to buy it. What you
Sure.
can do is, so say I'm like, I need a week off. I'm going to go onto my Instagram page and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to see what videos and what posts had the best reach. And like it looks like the little airplane and you can copy a link. So I copy that link, I take it over to reshare, I click it into reshare, and it uploads the video and it uploads the caption.
Mm.
So then so I don't have to worry about it being in my phone. If I ever delete out on my phone, that whole entire video is edited there. So then I'll go to schedule post. So I'll accumulate all my top content. I go over into the schedule option. I schedule them all. And guess what? Boom, bing, they're going out there. I know they're going to do well without me even getting on having to engage. So
Damn.
it gives me time off. I'm not having to create anything. And a lot of times too, like I post every single day. Say it's
Hmm.
a day where I just don't feel like making anything. I'll go over into my reshare app and I'll be like, ooh, which one do we want to reshare today? We'll do this one and hit it over. And maybe I'll change up the caption a little bit. But not many people realize that I reshare the same content over and over and over because they're not coming to your grid and actually looking through it. Yeah, they're just seeing what's in their feed.
Hmm.
So that's the best way. When I try to make new content all the time, I will get so burnt out because over on TikTok, you can't make money unless it's new content.
Yeah.
If you do what I'm doing over on Instagram, it penalizes you. And so that's where I make a lot of just like my quick content that does really good. Like I'll find something that's a round brush. I'm like, all right, so I'm round brushing with tension. This is how I prevent blah, 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 blah. I do
Hmm.
a voiceover. I allow myself only one time to do the voiceover, click it up, put it out, don't overthink it, and it creates it. And then I'll reshare that onto my Facebook and onto my YouTube. And then we're making income on all those as well.
Look at that. Gang. I mean, just like all of the gems right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think another thing that was like a gem in that is like the not overthinking it. This
Yeah.
I think is something that people get really hung up on, which is why I was asking like, is it organic? What tools are you using? Because there's like decision paralysis
Hmm.
wherein people are just like, well, what the fuck should I post? I
Yes.
have no, and then they just don't do it.
Yep.
Obviously, in your case, like that's not happening, and here are things
Hmm.
that you can do to avoid a situation where you're not
Yep.
able to post because social media is as important as we have established, everybody. Talk to me about
Absolutely.
the evolution of our industry from your POV. Like, where do you think things are headed? Again, knowing that you've seen quite a lot, I'm curious, like, what do you think is to come?
I think we're in a big transformation right now. I think we're in a very big one. COVID pushed it over for us. It pushed a
Hmm.
lot more digital to us. It created a love-hate relationship that I have right now. And so I think, brands used to give really, really big deals and lots of money. And it was like money, easy, easy, easy.
Uh-huh.
And now it's not so much. And now I think there needs to be more conversation on what you're getting paid from brands. It's like, what do you charge for a haircut? What do you charge for an Instagram story? We need to have more of that that's transparent so hairstylists can't be taken advantage by somebody getting sent free product and they're just so excited because a brand acknowledged them. And so they're going to post it. And that brand now doesn't have to pay for any sort of advertisement. And they're running off the coattails of these hungry hairstylists.
Hmm.
So there's this education, and it's what I like to educate. I put my rate card out there to everybody of what I charge for a story, a video, TikTok, like the whole thing. And that's what you send to a brand right away. And I think if we all get on a cohesive starting price, like if you have this many followers, this much experience, this is what your rate should be. I don't think it should be this up and down big range that you're seeing.
The Wild Wild West.
It's literally the wild, wild west. It's taboo to talk about what you get paid for
Yeah.
a campaign.
Yep. It's also
Um,
taboo for brands to reveal, which is crazy. Like, what do you have to work with? Like, if you're transparent, then I can be transparent. I mean, these, not to put words in your mouth.
it's very true. It's very true. And I think it's even interesting too when like you have a role in a brand that you took over from somebody else and you realize how much they were getting paid versus you. It's all this pay stuff. So I think that's going to be a big change that's going on as well. I thought hair shows were going to be dying because right after COVID, the first few batches,
Talk,
like
speak on it.
where's
No, I'm glad.
everybody?
Let's, yes, yeah, they're back. But
they're,
which ones
they're
are
back.
back? What's your POV? Because obviously things have changed.
Yes.
What do you think are like the most important hair shows of late?
I think the biggest, I mean, for example, after COVID, it was like dead. Nobody was coming to them. You're like, they're
Yep.
done, they're dying.
Yep.
This is the first year the shows, all of them, have felt the exact same pre-COVID.
Mm.
Like they are busy, they are loud, it is energy. The women are running around with their totes, filling them up.
This
Like
is true.
it's the
People
whole
are shopping.
thing.
Yeah.
They're shopping. The biggest show of the year, I would say, is probably Premiere Orlando because it's one of the last shows. It's big, brands go big there. It's exciting. There's the Rainbow Convention from my bestie Jordan. So they're kind of like different ones for each other. Like the Rainbow Convention is that alternative. It's all about wellness, hairstylist, vivid colors, celebrates the hairstylist. It's a cool direction that she's been doing. So I think there's a variety going on. And you're seeing those stylists that are coming into the industry. They're picking where they want to be. Your old school stylists are going to your traditional hair shows.
Mhm.
You're seeing some of the younger ones come, but then like the younger ones, they're now picking. So I think it's a big variety, honestly.
Katie, what's next for you? So industry aside,
Yeah.
yeah, what are you? I mean, obviously, OLG, JRL, you want to be with them forever if they'll have you,
Yes.
and if
Yes.
it makes sense for you. But what else? What do we sort of have in store for you?
I sit here and the empowerment that JRL and OLEG have allowed me to have, I'm able to get back to my editorial background and do shoots again and styling again. And actually, today when I get off, I'm going to go meet up with Charlie and we're going to be talking about a concept shoot for JRL. So,
Sick.
we're wanting to get stuff set up where him and I can do quarterly shoots together. And it's bringing back this passion that I had in the very beginning of my career, and creating this passion at a level that I understand education more, where I can bring more education of this styling and interpret it to those that want to get into editorial or those that are trying to make beautiful images to grow their portfolio, to grow their clients. So I think it's just elevating, and there's in the industry, I can't remember the exact percentage. It's a very small percentage that hold global artistic director positions as female.
Mm.
I want to help keep this for younger stylists out there that are females and make them want to achieve to this. So I want to have more world travels. I think I'll be doing Bologna next year. JRL has some stuff. I want to inspire those little girls to want to be that director position because we are the ones that know that what women want behind the chair and being able to help that is I think where it's at. And so I think that's kind of my bits and pieces everywhere. I don't think I ever want to fully retire from working behind the chair. People are always like, you still work that much and you do all of this.
Yeah.
Um, I think the cool thing is when I go and I work behind the chair because I have made a name for myself, I get to be Katie for the day. I
Mm.
get to shoot the shit with my clients. My
Hmm.
girls at the salon treat me just like Katie because when I go to these shows and these events, I'm Katie B. And so it keeps me humble. It keeps me attached to the industry. It keeps my finger on the pulse so I can keep bringing education that everyday stylist needs because I think too often there's these artistic directors that aren't doing hair. They're fully disconnected. They
Uh-huh.
don't know what these stylists are struggling with. What's your struggle? Do we need to give more lift in hair because nobody can afford it? Do we need to change this and this? Do you need faster hair color? They're just trying to make cool, fancy techniques. So that's kind of what I see as my future, working at the salon I'm at, but traveling globally, leaning more into my editorial, working with Charlie as long as I can, and just enjoying.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I'm especially happy to hear you talking about making sure that women and young girls,
Yeah.
particularly, can see themselves represented in this industry, particularly in the sort of top levels of these orgs, because women make up so much of the industry and are not reflected in
Yes.
those spaces.
Yes.
So glad for us to just talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's have more of that.
Yes.
Let's do that. Katie, let's let's get into our quick takes and then we'll let you go. Getting back
Okay.
to all of the things.
Yes.
These are the questions we ask of all of our guests, so don't think about it for too long.
Okay.
First one, if you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
Oh, it would definitely be able to do any sort of hairstyle showed to me, like the classics, like the beautiful, like slicks. Like I can do them. But girlfriend, it takes me a little bit of time because a perfect slick back ponytail is so hard to do.
Hmm.
If I could do that very quickly, I would be so happy. So it's those classic stylings. If I could just turn them out the same way I can turn out hair color, that would be goals.
I want that for you too. What is the current go-to song or album? What are you listening to these days?
Oh, she's awesome. So her name is Qveen. It's Qveen. She's 40 years old. She has the same birthday as me, and she's all about inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned with music, I love everything, but I want to learn like manifestation. I'm I'm a magnet to everything. I'm here for this life. So she just talks about positivity and she's killing it in this world and she's amazing. And I turn that on every day before I go to work because it just pumps me up versus like when you're in a bad mood and you wake up and you want to put on some like Metallica or Korn or some
Yeah.
Eminem and you're just angry at the world, you're going to stay angry. So I try to listen to like more uplifting manifestation, happy stuff so I don't get in those bad moods.
Solid advice again. We love that. And always down to listen to some new stuff. So we'll make sure that we add to the show notes.
Yep.
What is a haircut or color trend that you are secretly obsessed with right now?
Oh, it's the foiled cashmere. It's the Carolyn Bessette color right
Uh-huh.
now.
Uh-huh.
I think just watching that series, watching her hair evolution and her whole thing with Calvin Klein where she had that money piece. Money piece has been around for a hot minute, you guys. It's not brand new. It's
Mm-hmm.
big in the 90s. And then watching her hair just turn into this bright blonde with it straight from the scalp. And I love the Rachel haircut, later Rachel haircut, the long face frame,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a one length
Mm-hmm.
where it can blow out beautiful or stay straight and it just shows off the color because it's not chopped into with tons of layers. So those are my favorite.
These are very solid. If you could do a dream celebrity client's hair for a day, who would it be, and what would you do?
Oh gosh, a dream celebrity client. Ariana Grande.
Okay, obvious. Would you do a ponytail? What would you do with her
Yeah.
hair? You
Well,
would.
I'm like, yeah, I would do that pony because it's a classic. But honestly,
Yeah.
I would want to put her in a voluminous, sexy blowout because we never see her with her hair down. Um, and I think she's secretly a bad girl. I mean, look at the guys she's dated,
Hmm.
Mac
Hmm.
Miller, all of them. And I'm like, I think she puts on this great persona. Her PR team's incredible. They don't let stuff through. And she's this bad girl behind the scenes. So I would love to just like see everything from her.
I'm right there with you. I'd love to see this. Enough with the pony, although the pony it works, but I've
Right?
got your vision. I'm sharing
Yes.
it. Yep, yep.
Yep.
All right, last question. A tiny thing that made you smile this week.
Oh gosh. Um, Probably his name is George and he runs stuff for JRL and Oli G. And he just checks on me and it just makes me so happy when I talk to him. Little messages that pop up. I had surgery last week and
Hmm.
he's always there checking on me. And so it made me smile and my relationship I built with him from a brand. And I think he'll forever be a bestie like Charlie Price is to me. So that's what gave me a nice little smile this week.
Oh, I love that. And glad to hear that you're on the mend.
Thank you.
Katie, for people that are not already following, don't know how to get a hold of
Yes.
you,
Yes.
where can they go? And then we'll let you get back to doing all of the things.
Awesome. So on Instagram, it's so funny. So everyone literally thinks my name is Katie B, but it's Katie Brenner. But on Instagram, that's what started it. So you're literally going to put in the letter K T B, then hair. Then over on TikTok, somebody else already had that handle. I've reached
Of
out to
course.
her. She hasn't been active since 2020, but she owns it. So it's Katie Brenner hair.
Okay.
So it'll be KT Brenner hair. And then over on Facebook, you're going to find it at the KTB hair, just like Instagram. And then over on YouTube, it's going to be the same thing, KTB hair.
Easy. And we'll include all of those in the show notes. Katie,
Yay.
it was a pleasure getting to chat with you. So many gems that you shared.
Thank
Very, very
you.
generous. Come back anytime.
Yes, I would love to be back. Thank you for having me.
All right, Jeff. I mean, clearly got her act together. We love
Yeah, I mean,
this.
what a career. And what a treat. I mean, it was such a fun chat to be able to go back and talk about where things have been, where they're going. I mean, it's always a blast to talk to pros that are educating
Yes.
at that level, but then
Right.
also like working behind the chair. So yeah,
Correcto.
what a treat.
What a treat. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbaje is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.